welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today we're going to have a Let's Talk, and it's going to be all about getting sued on YouTube. And this is going to be a very interesting subject because it was brought to my attention by one of my viewers that watched a video or two of mine in the past. And they made a little bit of a comment about, Steve, do you ever worried about getting sued on YouTube because you actually showed something being done that might not be right, or you said something out of line where somebody would sue you because it might be like defamation of character or slander or that kind of stuff? Well, that's what we're going to address today. And I'm not a lawyer, and just like all you guys, you all have friends that have professional trades, whether they're lawyers, doctors, automotive technicians, no matter what they are. And you do talk to your friends. And there's one thing about the law that a lot of people get confused is you don't know about the law unless you've been practicing law for a long time. And even if you have been practicing law for a long time, your opinions on an outcome don't always come true. So, can you get sued for making a YouTube video? Well, yes, you can. You can get sued. You can get sued for slander. You can get sued for copyright infringement. You can get sued for a lot of things. And you could also get thrown in jail. There's a lot of cases that have come to my attention up here in Canada where somebody had made a video of them doing illegal activities. The police were notified of the YouTube video and they arrested the people. Now, there's a big difference between being charged, be arrested, and being convicted. So that's the part that we're going to get into right here. In my knowledge of all the years I've been on YouTube, I've never heard of one case of somebody getting charged, convicted, and actually serve any jail time or any monetary value. Yes, I have heard of cases where people have actually sued people over slander or defamation of character, and all these things have to actually be going to court, and you have to prove a lot of these things. And most of the times, it's just not worth the money. And yeah, there's a lot of leeway on YouTube on what you can do and what you can't do. So let's just take a look at the disclaimers. You see a lot of people on YouTube videos, especially like even on my channel, if you look in their about page, or you go down to the description on each video and look underneath the description, you'll see a lot of disclaimers about no matter what I do on this YouTube channel, I'm not responsible for. Well, in my opinion, they're just a waste of time. Because you cannot put disclaimers in for things that can be ruled that you're liable for. I mean, you can't run, like an automotive shop or an electrical, repair shop, or you can't be a skilled tradesman and put down, you have no liability for anything that you do, because it just won't fly. Nobody will hire you, and it kind of sounds like you don't know what you're doing. So on YouTube, can you be held liable for, say you show how to do something and somebody copies it or does the exact same thing and they get hurt? Well, of course they can try and sue you, but I've never heard of it. Has anybody of you ever actually witnessed somebody getting sued on YouTube for producing a video where somebody might have got hurt by trying to do the same thing? Or you could even have like a cooking channel. It'd be so easy, like even on a cooking channel, by mistakenly say, leave your chicken out on the table there, for 48 hours before you actually, start cooking. And of course that would be just a wrong thing to say, but people do make mistakes. And I'll let you think about something. There's a perfectly good reason why YouTube does not charge anything to become a member. Because once you start charging people to do something, you go into a whole different realm of a, I guess it would be like conditions of service. Once you start charging people for stuff, and that's why YouTube is free. YouTube is free for that particular reason only. And YouTube itself, if you take a look at their terms of service, they're pretty well not liable for anything you do on YouTube. And are you liable for everything you do on YouTube? Well, I guess to a degree, but when you think about it, I've never heard of anybody actually getting sued. You know, like, of course, on YouTube, no matter what you do making a video, somebody will say you did it wrong, you should have done it like this, and it's against the building code, it's against this, against... Well, if you tried to go to court and actually say that, the first thing I believe that the Crown would listen to is, if you're watching a YouTube video, are you under the impression that everything you see is factual, correct, and that YouTube itself is factual and correct? And that would be part of the case itself. And I don't believe that there has been damages awarded because watching a YouTube video. You can be charged criminally, and that's the only one that I know being charged. Whether they're ever convicted is a whole different thing. And if you try and sue somebody, a lot of times, depending on what country you're in, you can sue anybody for pretty well anything civilly. And yeah, when you go to court, most times you're going to end up paying for their lawyer too. And if you live in a different country, they're just going to say, get lost, I have nothing to do with you, because the jurisdictions, you know, try to sue somebody from another country. And on YouTube, I don't believe that I have actually heard a case that's been reported where there's been a conviction and an award. Now, everybody's got rumors and hearsay and everything else, but I'd like to know if you've ever had the experience where you know somebody that's actually got an award and actually collected on the award. Because you can sue somebody till the cows come home. Doesn't mean you're going to get any money out of them. And, you know, it is not so easy to sue somebody in the first place. Yeah, you can hire a lawyer and go sue somebody if you want, but trying to collect the money on it is another thing. And generally, that's what a lawsuit is over, is money. So even with slander on YouTube, you have to actually prove that you have a financial loss from somebody saying something towards you. And the only people really that you're going to be able to get awards from is if you say something completely ridiculous and keep on saying it, and these people got deep pockets. And you know, the scales of justice are not exactly even. In my experience, the more money you have, the better off you can afford a good lawyer. And good lawyers make sure that the people they're suing have the ability to pay. So there's another thing too. But I just thought I'd bring this up because I see so many people have disclaimers on their YouTube channel. And I wonder if they think that because you have a disclaimer in there, that it absolves you from all the things in life that ever... And I've seen some disclaimers like this deep. You know, no matter what you're watching on this video, you know, I'm not responsible for. And I have inquired about that a little bit, you know, just through my friends. And they pretty much said disclaimers really don't mean that much when it comes to going to court. Because depending on the situation, and it's just like in automotive diagnostics, there's a lot of variables. So there's no hard and fast rules when it comes to the law. And it can be expensive learning lessons going through a law case, getting sued. So I just like I drop this up right here. And if any of you ever heard of anybody that you know personally, not no hearsay, 4 and 5 layers of people, this guy knew, this guy knew, this guy knew, this guy that got sued. Have you ever heard of anybody getting sued from making a YouTube video? I'd like to hear about it because I've never heard of it, and I really, to tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever watched a YouTube video where I think that person could get sued. So that's pretty well it today. I hope you find this a little bit interesting. I thought it'd be an interesting subject to bring up. So thanks for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel, you're welcome to subscribe. And you guys mention down below what your opinion is. I'd love to hear it. Thank you very much for joining me here today on another session of Let's Talk. Cheers.